I've been a Nikon user for over 25 years and finally we got the Nikon ZR, a cinema camera for the Nikon, and I'm going to show you guys and give you 10 reasons why the Nikon ZR is one of the best cinema camera you can get. Alright, check this out. What's up guys, I'm from Camera to Freedom. If you guys use your camera to take photos and videos and make YouTube content so that you can live a life of freedom like how I'm trying to do, hit that like and subscribe and let's go. All right guys, so every Christmas my wife gives me an expensive camera and I make an open box video, and I am so excited. She blessed me this year with the GH7 and also Nikon ZR. Plus she got me the Nikon Z20-75. Even though I do have the more expensive 24-70 f2.8 lens, but this is great for gimbals. So I'm going to talk about the lenses as I'm opening them up and talk about the Nikon ZR, including, since this thing has 32-bit audio, she also got me the Lark Max 2 Hollyland. I've wanted this since when they first came out. It comes with a wireless headphone. We'll talk more about that too. Nikon ZR works well with a Saramonic 32-bit wireless mic, so we're gonna open those up and talk about it. She got me some knickknacks, the memory cards and cages and things like that. So we're gonna open this up together and I'm gonna give you guys 10 reasons why this camera is amazing, amazing. Okay, so let's open this up. So I have owned and used all brands of cameras because I love cameras. One of them isn't really better than the other. You pick one, it's going to be amazing. I've been a Nikon user for over 25 years. D70 was my very first DSLR. I now shoot a lot with my Nikon Z6 III, Nikon Z8, and I love it. One of the best video cameras out there that a lot of people don't really even know about. The Nikons are killing it, especially for the fact that now Nikon bought out Red. I also love my Red Komodo. I love Red cameras. I love making commercials and short films and documentaries and serious videos for my clients, and having a Red just kind of makes you stand out from the rest, right? When your client knows about camera and they see you bring in a Red, they're impressed. I've had clients that's like, "Ooh, you got a Red?" So they love it, and it creates great quality video. So I love Nikon, I love Red, and now there's a Nikon Red camera. I'm gonna give you guys 10 reasons why the Nikon ZR is a must-have cinema camera if you're a serious videographer. This was meant for me. I love Nikon, I love Red. Boom, baby. Okay, let's open this up, let's see what's inside. I am so excited, guys. Some manuals, let's toss this down. Okay, some more documents, some warranty papers I need to sign up for. Okay, USB-C cable. I'm guessing it's to charge it. Let's open this up and let's talk about this as soon as we get my hand on the camera. Oh my goodness. Oh yes. Oh, what else is in the box? Okay. Of course, the strap that nobody will use, but it's a Nikon strap, so it's nice to keep around. And of course the battery, and thank goodness it still uses the ENL-C battery that my Nikon Z8 and Nikon Z6 III, and I have a bunch of batteries for it, uses. So thank goodness it uses the same battery. Oh my god, it's already tiny. It's already so small. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know, man. I get so much joy of getting camera gears. I have so much camera gears, and I feel blessed that my wife gives me camera gears for Christmas. Oh my god, look at the way it looks. And the way it feels too. Just the first impression, that material is just high quality plastic. You could just tell that it's just got a good finish on top of it. There's a rubber grip right over here. That's really nice. And my wife got me the cage too. The cage gives you a better grip so your hand could grip it like how a lot of the regular cameras would. This one, it's just a square, it's just a rectangle. So it'd be nice to have that better grip. But oh my god, it's small. Yeah, I love it. It's a very small camera. All this power in this camera is absolutely crazy. And of course, the most exciting part about this camera is obviously, you guys all know, it's the 4-inch screen. Massive, massive screen. Oh my god, that is amazing. So with this massive screen, you definitely don't need an external monitor, but you of course can use an external monitor with a tiny little micro HDMI. All right, so reason number one why this camera is a must is that it shoots in Red RAW, R3D, NE, Nikon X Speed. Even though it shoots in RAW, it's 12-bit. It's not 16-bit compared to the Red Komodo that I got back there. It shoots in Nikon RAW and 6K. It shoots 6K ProRes RAW. It does 5.3K for H.265, H.264, 120 frames per second in in 4K, and you also get 240 frames per second in HD for super slow motion. It's got the same sensor as the Nikon Z6 III. My Red Komodo is a Super 35 sensor, so it's a slightly smaller than this full frame Nikon camera. How crazy is that? So 10-bit has 1024 levels per color, so you get that nice gradient compared to an H.264, the lowest quality video that our Nikon ZR can still shoot in if you want to shoot long seminars and things like that. But that only has 256 levels in one color. The gradient is less. If you shoot like a beautiful sunset, for example, and has all those gradient colors, then you might see some pixelation if you start messing around with colors. 10-bit, obviously you get 1024 different levels in a color, but 12-bit has about 4,000 levels in a color, so it's super smooth. Now it gets kind of crazy when it goes to 16-bit like the Red Komodo, right? 16-bit has 65,000 levels of color, which is crazy. Human eyes cannot see that much different colors, and the fact that you get so many different codecs. If you shoot in 4K on the CFExpress Type B card, you get about an hour and a half video. Now, if you're shooting in 6K, Full Max Nikon Red RAW, then you're only gonna get about 18 minutes. That's on a 512 gigabyte SD card. That's kind of crazy. ZR does take in two cards, CFExpress Type B card, and the second slot is a micro SD. And the weird thing about the micro SD is that it's not that fast. Micro SD has an express version. It's supposed to be faster, but the Nikon ZR does not take the express. Nintendo Switch 2 takes the express, but the ZR does not. That's really interesting. I don't know why they did that. Micro SD card does have a V30 and a V60. Even though it will work with a V30, I recommend the V60. And with a micro SD card, it's really meant for you to record the H.264 and H.265. So it's good for a backup. It's good if you just want to use the tiny card for, you know, like events, and you could get yourself a terabyte micro SD card or something like that, and you want to shoot long events, then that's what I would use it for. Use it for as a backup. And the micro SD card goes right where the battery is. Tiny little thing. The CFExpress card goes in, put that in there. Good. So one thing interesting about the R3D NE is that even though it is raw video, it's not completely raw like the Red Komodo or the Red cameras. A regular Red RAW, it doesn't matter what ISO you film in. ISO's got nothing to do with filming. You shoot and then you could change your ISO in post. With this R3D NE, ISO is baked in. Yes, in post, you could still edit the ISOs. It's not the true ISO. So when you are filming in your Nikon ZR, you're supposed to stick to 800 ISO because it's dual native ISO like the Nikon Z6 III. You want to either stick to 800 ISO or 6400 ISO, and then you change your settings to get the proper exposure. Also, talking about dynamic range, this Nikon has the ability to give you 15 stops of dynamic range, which is crazy. I think my Nikon Z6 ZA, they're about 13 stops and so on. 15 stops just helps make it look so much amazing. So, and even though it's not made for photography, you could still take photos with this camera. I love the switches that the Nikon gives. All my Nikon cameras have the switch where you could go photo and video. Man, it's so minimal. It's got 3 buttons up here. There's the front dial, there's a back dial, a joystick, and a couple of buttons. It looks like they barely have anything here. One of the reasons why this camera is different from the rest, this is the only camera that has this ability right now, is that it has 32-bit recording internally. I know we just talked about my GH7, and with an adapter, the adapter gives you 32-bit audio, but this one has it internally. So if you're recording audio through the camera, then you got 32-bit audio in here. Nikon ZR has an adapter called MED10, and that gives you 32-bit audio with a shotgun mic. You get 32-bit audio even with a wireless mic. And it's a little different, right? Because the wireless mic that my wife got me, Hollyland Lark Mark II, and also Saramonic Ultra, they're both 32-bit wireless microphones. 32-bit obviously is raw audio. If you are too loud and gets distorted, you could save it, like how a raw photo is. You could save it, bring it down and save it. So that's the new technology. You can also use a wireless mic to create a 32-bit audio internally. So every other camera, like the Panasonic, if you put a wireless mic in there, it does not take in 32-bit. When you use a 3.5 millimeter jack to connect your wireless mic, 3.5 millimeter jack is an analog. It could only take in 24-bit. But what the 32-bit wireless mic does is that by default gives you a high quality audio. It's got features like the limiter, prevent it from peaking, so you automatically get great audio that goes into your Nikon ZR, and it has a computing system in there that takes the analog audio and then converts it digitally into its own 32-bit audio. So one of the first ones I want to talk about is the Saramonic Ultra. Now this one is new. I love the way this thing looks. If you look closely, it looks like an old school record player guitar case texture. It's very retro and very high quality looking. And it even lights up on the top. It tells you if it's charging or things like that. But you open this up and this microphone, it looks like a tiny retro record player speaker. So it has 32-bit internal recording, 8 gigabyte. This Saramonic has an automatic gain control. Boom, something really loud happens or you're screaming. You know, some people get on the mic and woo, scream real loud. It prevents it from peaking. So that's one of the technology that it has that's so great with using a ZR. This also has a built-in time code. It also has a 3.5 millimeter jack, which comes with 2 lapel mics. It does come with a dead cat. Love the way this thing looks. Okay, so that's cool. All right, the Hollyland Lark Max 2. This thing comes with a headphone, which is the first of its kind that has 32-bit internal recording. It has 8 gigabyte of internal storage space. You get 32-bit audio for 14 hours. All right, so this pouch looks awesome. I love it. Hi, my baba. Excuse me. Appa's doing my YouTube video. Come say hi. Say hi. Hi. Say hello. Say hi. Say subscribe to my video. Okay. I was making my YouTube video. Go. He's the reason why I make these YouTube videos. I'm driven to make sure I take care of my baba, my boy. Now, because it comes with 2 headsets, you could use both of them if you want to. Just use one of them if you want to, but you could give the second one to your teammate if you guys don't mind sharing earbuds. But the great thing about that is that finally, for the first time ever, when I shoot weddings, I got the wireless mic connected to my camera, to the efficient, to the DJ. It's all over the place. I never could get to check. I would have to go to my camera, stop what I'm doing. I'm on my gimbal and I have to be like, okay, it's working. So I stopped doing it. I just like, I don't have time to check it. I'm just praying to God that it's working. Please, Lord, make it work. So, and 99.9% of the time, it's fine. But that 0.1% that it's not fine, you can make sure you get 100% with this set right here. Jeez, that looks nice. And the best part is that even though it doesn't have a 3.0mm jack, you could use a lapel mic with an adapter. You definitely need to upgrade to 32-bit audio if you haven't done that yet, if you're a serious videographer. So let's continue on, guys. So I own a 20-40-70 f2.8. This is a $2,000 lens. This is kind of big, but I've been using this for my Nikon Z8 and Z6 III. But this one is a $1,000 version of this lens, but it's slightly different. It's 28 to 75mm, but still f2.8, and there are differences. So let's go ahead and open this up so we could put it together with Nikon ZR that I'm going to be using it for. Microfabric cloth, the bayonet. Woohoo! You see that? How skinny that is? The reason why you would want to get the 2075 is that it is a lot cheaper. You could get 2 of this lens for the price of this. And now they even have a 24-70 Mark II lens that's even way more expensive, but it's worth the money. You're paying for the technology for sure. 24-70 has a computer. It's got a tiny screen. It's got function button, very high tech, very computerized lens, heavier. And I use my gimbal all day. Both of these Nikon lenses are rainproof. I did not want 2 of the expensive 24-70. So having a second camera with 28-75 was definitely more ideal. So I got the link below, and if you buy it from me, thank you so very much for your support. Okay, so we're gonna put this on a little later after I open up the cage. So let's go ahead and open this sucker up. The great thing about the Nikon ZR is that it's very similar to my Nikon Z8, Z6 III. It has one of the best autofocus out there. The stabilization is absolutely amazing. It has multiple levels of stabilization, right? You get a lens stabilization if you have a VR lens, but if you have a lens like this that doesn't have VR, then it uses the IBIS, in-body image stabilization. And it has an electronic version where it acts like a tripod. As you can see, the cage, ooh. As you can see, the cage has a grip right over here. really thought through. There's a little hole for you to put your camera strap on, and this cage has a little thing that pops out that you could put into. I'm a serious videographer, and if I could pick one video camera to get, this is the best camera to get. This is the most affordable. It's cheaper. It's a competition to the Sony FX3, and it's cheaper than the FX3. It has a red tally light in the front telling you that it's recording. I love the red tally light. I wish that every camera could come up with a red tally light. Ooh, look at that. The grip is so seamless. The hand grip is the exact same material as the camera. It looks like it's part of it. You could use all your Sony lenses and it works 100% perfectly. So if you're a Sony user and you want to move to a Nikon, come on over, baby. Come try it out. I got all the links below. If you do buy any of these knickknacks from me, then I definitely appreciate it. Please leave a comment, just say what's up, or just ask any questions. Just let me know what camera you got. Just, you know, hook a brother up and just say hello. It definitely helps out with the algorithm. I need all the help I can get as I'm trying to grow this. Hook me up with your email at cameratofreedom.com. I'm doing my best to send out free tutorials and things like that. Just having a community where we could all share our passion for photography and video. All right, guys, so that concludes my video, and I will see you next time. Wow. Awesome.